a lot of good stuff there. So there's great things like that. Like Michael brought up with that. There's you look at we've done this together times, and I suggest you do this if you draw out the numbers, the book of Numbers of where all the people camped in the desert as they were marching from being delivered out of Egypt into the Promised Land. For 40 years they marched around, and every time they camped, they had to camp real specifically, and certain tribes camped east of the main camp or the middle camp, and north and south. And when you draw out the numbers and use proportional, just draw it on a piece of paper, and you proportionally draw out the numbers, you end up with a cross.
Yeah.
So if you think about like God looking down on his people, he was seeing the cross. And then there's like super powerful things like Isaiah 53, where it literally spells out that he will be, he'll have stripes on his back from being beaten. He'll be led to as a sheep is led to the slaughter, and open not his mouth. All these predictions, Psalm 22,
That's
exactly talking about his death on the. Yeah, and
I have it highlighted.
It's like there's incredible things. We don't have time to go into all those different things, but there's definitely things like that. But just as a big picture, I think just to kind of introduce the Old Testament, I think I don't want to use a bunch of weird words that people use that don't just sound flowery, but I think it's a good word to kind of describe it. It's called dispensations, and I think the Bible's kind of broken out into dispensations, and I think it's important to get some of those because the word tells us that the person that really needs to as a Christian, you need to learn how to rightly divide the word of God. It says, right, and I think part of that's pointing at this dispensations.